Some bunnies with a Baduka dunk.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Switch. Just the three-man weave version. B More running point. We got J Money in on wing and Care from Ohio cutting to the basket. As always, we are brought to you by Southern Edge Beverage Company. Like, subscribe, share. Don't be a hater your whole life. Look for the discount code in the description. Leave a funny comment. You may get picked for a Southern Edge package. But more on that later, man. So how y'all feeling today?
Good, my brother. Good.
All right.
I'm good. I'm here. I'm excited.
That's all we can ask, All right. So we will start out with the biggest thing. The NBA's in the middle of what might be like the biggest gambling scandal ever. Federal investigators dropped 2 major indictments linking illegal sports betting and underground poker games, which is wild. And somehow we all know everybody who caught up in it. Like, these aren't any nobodies. Terry Rozier was arrested, did the perk walk and everything, using inside info like injury details to place bets on himself. He even told people he'd fake an injury to help them cash out. Then there's Chauncey Billups, the Trailblazers former head coach, tied to high-stake poker ring. Prosecutors say it was rigged and connected to the mob. Yo, is this the 80s? The NBA has suspended those people who's involved. They're re-examining its whole betting policy, trying to get around these prop bets and injuries and injuries info. But man, you got Jonte Porter, you got Terry Rozier, you got Chauncey Billups, man. What was your reaction when y'all heard this?
You go first, J Money.
All right. I was not surprised about Terry Rozier. Because he's been under investigation for betting anyway. I think it was like last year or something like that. So that didn't catch me too by surprise. But Chauncey Billups, though, that was an earth shaker for me. I was like, what?
Yeah. I asked myself, Chauncey's made money as a player. He's made money as a coach. So at this point, is it greed? Is it something more underlining that we didn't know? But I was very shocked just to hear his name, because when you think Chauncey Billups, you think of, he's a guy that's about dignity. He's a guy that's self-respecting. He sets the standard, and then for him to be affiliated with this is just damaging.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest surprises was Chauncey Billups. And then the fact that they had X-ray glasses, they had funny thing to look through the cards on the poker table. They had all this, the prop bets is one thing. Like you were saying, Jay Money, like Terry Rozier thing, that's, we kind of knew about that. But the Chauncey Billups angle is crazy. Like when they went into details, how they said they kept bringing these NBA players. Like, it's rumored Kevin Garnett was involved. So some other players look like they might be involved. And that they're bringing these players because these other guys just want to play with the NBA player. And so they call him like a face card. So hey, play with this famous guy. And so you're paying this money to play with this famous guy. You all excited, and you losing your money. And it's
Whole time he's scamming you. And that's just horrific. I think the interesting thing is that, anything they can do to kind of slander another celebrity, it just seems like they'll do it. I saw the thing that said, they talked about KG, but if he just played a hand of poker, that doesn't make him affiliated. Also, on the flip side, with the game, right, allegedly, the whole Damon Jones and LeBron, just because you know me and you ask me, hey, you playing today? I'm like, man, you know what? I'm probably not going to play. I don't know what you're going to do with that information, but yet it seems like it's a headline if I can just link them two together. So I'm just intrigued by that. And then the other thing is, we see it, they say they're linked to a mafia family, but all we see is Terry Rozier, Billups, and Damon Jones. Where's the representative for the mafia family? I don't see them. Right. So it's interesting.
It also kind of makes me, I was thinking about it too. Like, you got to watch your circle and who you really play against or who you play with, because not everybody's on your team. But that Chauncey Billups thing, that was absolutely crazy. And I agree with Quev too. Like, is it greed? Are they not making enough money that we don't know about? Or I don't know. I just feel like this is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, like for me, I understood Jonte Porter. Like, you kind of on the end of the bench. You're not really a player.
You're making millions like that.
Like your brother making millions, but you're a grown man. You don't want to kind of ask him for money. So I get it. If you try to make some side ends, I don't approve of it, because I love sports and I like the honesty of sports, but I get it. But Terry Rozier is making $23 million a year.
Yeah. What about the Instagram investigators who saw that Chauncey Billups had a Clutch Sports hoodie on?
I saw.
I said, wow. I said, they see everything.
They said that
Wow.
was his call for help.
Right.
Someone
If it
trying to
was,
save
I
him.
understand it.
He was
Fellas,
like,
I
"Bro,
need you.
come save me."
Wow.
Braun saved me. It's crazy.
That's something.
So Adam Silver's head got to be ready to pop off, pop off. The first week of the NBA was actually really great. Like
Mm.
the first week has been like we've had great performances from everybody. So what did we learn in week one? What did you guys see in this first week? I'm gonna let J Money kick it off.
So I've been watching the Warriors. That's my spotlight team.
Mhm.
That's also my number one favorite team. And I also started a poll last week with who would you rather build your team around right now to win a ring? And Ant-Man or Chef Curry? And people have spoken and they have said Chef Curry.
Chef Curry.
So the Lord is on our side on that part.
Mhm.
But I think the Warriors look great, man. They only lost one game. Stephen Curry is doing crazy things. He's put up 77 points in just the past 2 or 3 games, which is absolutely insane. Jimmy Butler, they have a solid team. I like how the team looks. They're efficient. They're taking smart shots. No one's taking any crazy shots at all. My only thing is Buddy Hield need to stop airballing. I have a love-hate relationship with Buddy Hield. You should have seen our messages last year, Kev, where Buddy
Wow.
Hield was I was raging. I almost broke a remote watching Buddy Hield in the playoffs, man.
Wow.
But I have really high hopes for this team. Honestly, they can make another deep playoff run. The coaching is there, the players are there, the chemistry is there. So I'm excited for what's to come for this season. Honestly,
I'm with you on that. I think the Warriors they look good. I'm eager to see how does Kaminga stay happy in his role? Does he speak up and say, "Hey, man, I still want up out of here"? The Jimmy Butler effect, and I really like the way they're assembled. I just hope they have health, along the way. And I think it's just wide open. I think the East is wide open, especially with Boston not having Jason Tatum. I think this is the year. No personal bias, but I think if the Cavs are going to make a run, this is the year to do it. You know what I mean? Because that window is different. Philly has Embiid on a pitch count, and then jumping back on the side of the West. I think the champs are the champs. They still create good on-ball pressure. Chet is coming off of a 30-point game. I think it shows his versatility. They're gonna really, really be hard to beat. And while I like the Warriors. I love to see what LA looks like with a healthy LeBron. But the West is gonna be a dogfight as we expect.
Word, word. So in this first week, what I surprised me, Philly, like Philly, like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
VJ Edgecombe is, hey man,
balling.
as advertised. Yeah,
yes, him and Maxi might be top five if they again this is for week one recency bias,
yeah,
man, top five backcourts in the league right now, maybe even
yeah,
top three
yeah, yeah,
because Maxi is balling out of his mind. Like they play off each other.
yeah.
Maxi's averaging 34 right now in 3 games.
Tough,
34.
Yeah,
tough.
Edgecombe's averaging 25.
Rookie.
And Embiid is barely playing. And Embiid looked like a skeleton out there. Like
Yeah.
he is struggling to move.
yeah.
And look, there's no Paul George. It's just
Hmm.
the kids. The kids got the keys,
Yeah.
and they are causing havoc right now. So
Yeah.
listen, that's what I learned. Like last week we did a preview, and I had low expectations for this team. Low. Because
Hmm.
I was not sure what VJ Edgecombe could do. But look,
Hmm.
I did not know his game. And sir, I respect it now.
Then
Right.
you mix in the energy of Oubre. They
Yes.
They
Hmm.
definitely got a good team. It's interesting. I love how Maxi's body is kind of like transformed. He's top heavy, but he still keeps the versatility. He's still quick. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And like you said, you got Edgecombe, who's just a Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? He's just this versatile player, and you can see why taking him high in the draft was important. But I just really wish Embiid wasn't a shell of himself. I think from a business standpoint, they missed out on the opportunity to trade him. I think
Oh
he's damaged goods.
Yeah.
I don't know how you even move him. So
yeah.
it's tough.
You can't. That contract is like I think he doesn't actually start his extension until next season.
Mm,
They are stuck with him. Like it's uh,
wow.
it's
I
yeah.
think I think with Embiid, I think he's also kind of scared too. Like that's a knee injury. That like these are knee problems that he's dealing with, and as you get older, as we all know, like the knee injuries, the more you get older, it's harder to deal with and harder to recover from,
Yeah,
and especially if you are 7 foot 265 and you got to move and you got to be real nimble too. Like that's hard. That's a mental
it's
thing.
tough.
And they got him in just like 20 minutes a game, I think it is. So
Yeah.
I understand why they have him on a like I like what you said, Kev, a pitch count
Mm-hmm.
because I want to see if I put too many minutes on him right now and Joel Embiid might not like it. We could be tanking his career
Yeah,
Worse.
early before he really like it's a bad situation and B might not like it, but they're really protecting his career right now.
yeah, yeah.
So I stand corrected. This is the first year of that extension that goes until 28 to 29 season. He's making 51.5 million a season. It actually goes up. It goes so the total contract is pretty much 300 million. So he's making 51 this year, 55 next year, 59 in 26 27, 64 in 27 28. He may not even be playing 27 28, and 69 and 28 29. He can't move him. like he, you,
Wow, man.
That's too much of
That
a
type of
risk.
money, he might as well just buy 2 new legs. Just buy some
yeah,
new legs.
yeah.
You know what I
Do
mean?
Alonzo surgery, get a new knee or something.
Right. Just buy a new
That,
one.
that is crazy. So from someone who is struggling to move to someone who's moving crazy right now, Victor Wembanyama. Look,
Yeah.
man,
The,
I know a few years ago we all saw this 7'4", 7'5", 18-year-old and was like, I don't know, he's thin, he's French. We're like, look, we got Rudy Gobert,
he's French.
you know, rookie year. He was cool. He did his thing. Rookie of the year, as expected. Last year, unfortunately, he had the blood clot. He had about half the year, which crazy enough, he still ended up leading the league in blocks. So that shows you how wild that is. And then this year, this first week, this man is out of his mind. Like this man, look at these numbers. look at
It's
these.
Wow.
insane.
like
That is
Wow.
insane.
like it is wild. 33, 13, 6, and yeah.
7'4" at the top of the key, giving you handle.
Right.
Giving you God, sham God. Give me space. And then he want to mix in the dream shake. It's
Right.
like, wow. You know what I mean? I love his spirit too. It's like
Yes.
Mhm.
Wembanyama, he got dog in him. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
Yeah.
that's 7'4", that's tough. He made Anthony Davis look so small. And it's
Oh
like I
my
felt bad for Anthony.
god.
What can you
I
do,
forgot
Ant?
Anthony Davis was even on the court. Like I
I
had to look up a few times like, oh, that's AD. Oh.
Man.
get baked.
Like
Put him in
I
the
wanted to say
oven.
something like a edible arrangement. I'm like, hey
Right.
man, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry.
They got something special. I really love the Vassal. I love their guards they have there in San Antonio. I think they're
Oh
definitely a
yeah.
team of the future. And De'Aaron, and they're tough. They're tough, tough, tough. And I
Mhm.
think it all goes on Victor's health. If Victor can play 60 games, they're definitely in the playoffs. It's just a matter of what seed.
So what do you think about this log jam they're gonna have at guard when De'Aaron comes back? Because look, Dylan Harper looks like he got it. Like
Hmm.
Dylan
Right.
Harper looks like he got it.
He went
And
crazy.
we all know Stephon Castle has it and
Hmm.
basketball.
Hmm.
So there's a log jam at guard, and I just wonder if they jumped the gun too early last year by making that trade for De'Aaron Fox. Is that they were just
Mm.
they were nervous about it. Like again, De'Aaron Fox is a great player,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
you gotta make room for Dylan Harper. Like we see
Yeah.
him now. Like the first
Yeah.
game he seemed a little tentative, and now these last two games he's
Hmm.
been putting it together.
I
Hmm.
don't think it was a risk, honestly. I think it was smart though, because after CP3 left, you still need a vet to teach the
Yeah.
young guys, and De'Aaron Fox is that guy. I like the move. I thought it was a great play. I think what should happen is that they probably should still start De'Aaron Fox because what's happened with the league now is that if you play your young guys too soon, they're set it up for failure and or if they put too much in their play, I think they get set up for failure. But I think in this situation here, you have a veteran point guard with De'Aaron Fox who's a really successful point guard. They could, still teach him a few things. But I think it's a good I think he'd be put in a good situation right now in San Antonio.
I'm with you on that, J Money, because it's like, and you kind of always almost segue into what Houston is kind of facing as well from that
Mhm.
lack of senior point guard. But I think, to your point, I think De'Aaron still is a starter. I think there is a hierarchy. I think he still is a big contract, So I think he'll get the first nod. Now,
Mhm.
how much rope he gets, he's still a veteran, but I think he'll get it. I think also De'Aaron is very, very special. I think, yeah, we see these
Oh yeah.
these young guards doing their thing, but De'Aaron is still that guy, and he's lightning quick, and I think you can't substitute that. So I think hopefully for them as they move forward, their backcourt maybe becomes their strength, even though they have Victor.
Yeah, and I think lucky for this situation that I think he's due back mid-November, so there's not
Okay.
going to be a big stretch without
Okay.
him. I
Okay.
think we might have some questions if it was a January comeback
Hmm.
and the Spurs are winning, and then those uncomfortable questions will be like,
Yeah.
do you really need the Aaron?
Right.
Because
Right.
but
Yeah.
you're right. At the end of the day, he just re-signed that extension, so he's going to get his minutes.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah. So OKC. They just seem like they just back to work. Like they just come back and they're just like,
Yeah. Suit
ho
and
hum,
tie.
he's just gonna keep winning. As we talked about earlier, Chet had a 30 ball, and look, and the real Jalen Williams, he's not even playing yet. So
Damn.
and
It,
they just came back this season. Like, can anybody beat them? I think that's really the question. Can anybody beat them four times in a 7-game series?
No.
J
I
Money
could
said,
no,
nah,
no.
nah.
It's hard. The only way that anybody could beat them, I think we've all said this before, is if they just beat themselves.
Hmm.
The Thunder have a habit of slowing down when they get a lead or when they're being really successful. Um, but the biggest thing of their success right now is SGA. He's obvious. It's very clear that he's the leader of the team and he's the level-headed leader. And if he gets rattled, the team will rattle too. But no, I just want Chet to get bigger. I honestly, muscular wise, he got punched on twice in the first half of the game, and I was real concerned. I was like, you need to get in the gym, my guy. That was crazy. Punched on twice,
Hmm.
body bag twice. That's crazy.
You know what? Styles make fights. And I think the team out there to beat OKC, the Clippers. The reason why I say the Clippers, you
Really?
you
No.
you you look you look at it from top to
Every time
bottom.
we talk about basketball, somebody come on and give us
That's day one. That's day one. The Clippers, they added Bradley Beal. You still got Kawhi. You got so many different little pieces, and I just feel like you have to have depth to deal with OKC because their on ball defense from Dort to Caruso is just really, really tough. And I think certain teams have certain personnel that can give these guys fits, but that's just it. The teams that have that, I can't take Jordan Poole and just put him there or take this person here. You
Mhm.
got who you got. And I think that's why it's so tough to deal with OKC. But however, that Clipper team got the depth, they got the ball handlers, the experience, because I feel like they can disrupt what OKC likes to do. Putting Kawhi on Shea Glizzy would be a tough out. And I just feel like, you need that to disrupt what they do best.
Yeah, but you can't trust James Harden in the playoffs.
At
And
all.
we've seen that. Like, we like that's not like a fan thing. It's a
Hmm.
fact. Like James
Sure.
Harden isn't James Harden in the playoffs. Like
Hmm.
I see your point, and I think the Clippers are always this wild card team that you just
Hmm.
don't know what you're going to get when
Hmm.
April rolls around. Because
Hmm.
from health to slumps to whatever, something is always going on with this team. Like no matter what happened,
And they added Brooke Lopez too.
they did.
Splash Mountain.
They it just doesn't it doesn't move me. Like
I understand.
if there's anybody in the West, honestly, the only team I trust out in the West is Denver.
Denver.
Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and Denver. They brought Bruce Brown, but as we all know, sometimes when you spin the block, it's not quite the same.
Right. They brought in
So
Valanciunas too. Big
yeah,
man.
yeah, that's the
Mhm.
biggest one.
Hmm.
So I like them, because I trust Jokic. I trust the best player in the
Yeah.
world to do
Mhm.
him, and no matter what happens, Jokic gonna get you 2, and
Mhm.
there are other teams, the supporting cast to try to get you 1 and maybe another one.
Mhm.
So
Aaron
that's
Gordon coming off of a 50-point game. I mean, Denver.
exactly
That's what I said.
That
Denver's
was
gonna be tough.
crazy.
It's gonna
you're,
be a
you're
dog
really
fight.
right.
But you,
So, but the Clippers, man,
yeah.
I have a question though. I have a question though. Two
Sure.
things actually.
all right.
One, also new nickname alert, Shea Glizzy. I love it. Two, two. If James Harden is not scoring points, who is the next in line? Because it
I
can't
got.
be if Kawhi can give you an easy 30, but they're gonna look for someone else. Is it gonna be CP3? CP3 is not
Mhm,
always a consistent scorer. He's a true point guard who'll pass the
mhm,
ball. And
mhm,
Bradley Beal is very, very streaky. So
mhm.
who would be next in line to give up another 25, 30 behind Kawhi?
I got you. But I think they'll do it by committee. I think Zubac. Am I gonna call plays for him? Maybe, maybe not. But he's capable. I think Brook Lopez is a stretch 5. He's capable. Chris Paul orchestrates. He can work with that first group or primarily that second group. Like to your point, Bradley Bill is catch and shoot, but that's what I need him to be. I don't need him. I don't need him to create. Phoenix kind of used him and Booker. That experiment just didn't work. I need him back in this traditional catch and shoot. His best days was with John Wall. So just find your spot, get there, and I'll get you. So I think by committee, because did they lose Norman Powell?
Yes,
Yep.
Norman Powell's
He's
in
in
Miami.
Miami, who's also
So
been crazy.
it's something. And also I like Chris Dunn, other guard coming off the bench. I think that's why I say they have a lot of good depth. And I feel you about James Harden, coming up short. However, I think he's an older player. He has to pass the rock, and I think they have so much talent. I don't need him to just to will us to it. Just do you. I don't need you to no superhero. Just buy into the system.
All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, the West is going to be interesting because I think
Yeah.
out for me, we'll talk about Houston later on, but Minnesota's kind of a wild card also. Like
Yeah.
Ant's now is going to be out for 2 weeks,
Ah,
so I with the hamstring strain. So so we'll see how how they tread water. But Ant, the first couple games, Ant looked good.
yeah.
Last time he got hurt, but the first one he looked good. Jaden McDaniels looks good. I mean, I can't trust a team with Rudy Gobert on it. I just can't trust a team with Rudy Gobert on. I have
It's
certain
a
things,
French thing.
certain
He's got a
players.
French thing.
Yeah, I just can't trust a team with Rudy Gobert. I don't know, man, because but
I, I, I,
yeah,
it's
we
funny
will.
with Rudy, like Mark Sanchez is synonymous with the butt fumble. Rudy is gonna be synonymous when COVID broke and he just kept touching everything.
I
He
know,
kept
man.
touching the microphone. Like,
I
oh
can't,
my
can't get
God,
over that,
Rudy.
man. He shut down the wall.
Wow.
It was Rudy's fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? That Minnesota game recently against LA is
Yeah.
intriguing because I felt like it goes back to styles make fights. I felt like McDaniel's on ball defense on AR-15 as well
Mhm.
as Luca was such a difference in that series because he
Yep.
disrupted what they wanted to do. I was so disappointed in Austin Reeves because I felt like he was coming on to his own. However, that defense just disrupted him and he just didn't have a flow. So to
Mhm.
see that Luca put up the 40 burger and AR-15 had a good game, that's good because that shows me in the offseason what were you working on? How are you
Right.
getting stronger? As much freedom as LA gives AR-15, I don't need a defender just to slow you down. They
Mhm.
need him to just to be a bucket, but he was really just disrupted last year against Minnesota, and that's why Minnesota sent him home.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Lakers because I think you brought up a good point. Is that Austin Reeves has a habit of when the athleticism and when the stakes get higher, he hasn't. Again, this is his third year, fourth season.
Yeah.
He hasn't risen to that level. And granted, his role is to be number 3, but what the fact is, with LeBron and Luka always in and out of the lineup, he's there's a good percentage of the year where he's the real number 2. So they
Yeah,
have to be able to to trust him. I think we
yeah.
all agree that he's a good player. He is a good number 2.
Mhm.
But when the stakes have gotten high in the playoffs or down the stretch in regular season, he hasn't been that guy.
Right.
I think it also comes with that with experience because as we just said, it's his third year, and if we look at the past 2 years, really before this year, have the Lakers really been successful to the point where they've made a really really deep run to where he's gotten that experience of raising the stakes because before Luca came, it was, Bron was running with average Joes, and he was carrying them into the playoffs, and they got out on the first round. I think almost every year.
Yeah,
And
Denver got him out
so,
here quickly.
right, with the quickness. So, I mean, so I think when I look when I look at the whole situation, this is a now time for Austin Reeves, like you were just saying, be more of like, hey, you are coming into your own player. Bron's out, Luca's out. You really got to step it up now. Now you're the number one guy until one or both of those guys come back.
So, and we fast forward into kind of late in the season or whatever, but this is Austin Reeves' contract year.
I'm hooping every game.
This is LeBron's last year in his contract. So the Lakers are going to have to make a decision sooner or later because you can't lose. Because listen, Austin going to want his money, and he's going to deserve every penny. He might not be a max player, but he's going to deserve every penny.
Oh, for sure.
So you won't have to make a. You won't have to. They're going to have to make a choice. They're not going to be able to keep Bron, and I mean it's the Lakers. I'm sure they'll do some voodoo of salary cap stuff if they want to, but they'll be in that second apron, and it's going to hurt. And
I'm with you on that, because to your point, I think Luca plays a part in that too. What does Luca want? Luca's the future. If he says I need AR to be my running mate, then AR is going to be his running mate. And LeBron certainly, he's had the leverage for so long, 23 years, and now you just don't have the leverage, and that's okay. It's totally okay. If he wants to ride off into the sunset and do his thing, I say he makes it to year 25 before he hangs him up. That's my prediction. But I think it's okay. I think AR-15 just has to become that guy, night in and night out. But when from a negotiation standpoint, he has a lot of leverage when it comes to LA. I just think I'm eager to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I also look at it too of like, if let's say the Lakers don't have the money, who do you lowball? I would lowball Bron and give a lot of the money over to AR-15 because, like you just said, Kev, Bron's in year 23. He probably got a good maybe 2 more years left, if healthy.
And those 2 years, how many games is he going to play in those 2 years?
40 games.
So
40
yes,
games a year.
You have to lean like. Stepping back, you're like, you got to keep Bron, but this ain't Miami Bron. Like this is 50-year-old Bron, coming back from like. Listen, I was telling, like in our last show, me and J Money were talking. I'm like, look, he's out with sciatica. That's an old man injury, like that. Like that is what your uncle, that's what your fathers, that's what your grandparents have. They have sciatica. They what they would say, my back acting up. That's what they would say, right? That's what he has. He has an old man injury. So this is what we're seeing. Like it took a long time for us to get here with him, but we're here. But besides LeBron, Luca, those first he missed last night's game, but hey man, Slim Luca is
he's something. Slovenia, yeah, some of that home cooking, and it's funny. I think influence is important. I think in his second year being connected to LeBron, I don't want to just give LeBron credit and say, hey, he taught him how to work harder, but we did see a visible change in the physique, and hope that equates to production. And that's what LA needs. I think Luka is an exceptional player, and he can do it all. But at times he does look. It's almost like if he's a football player, being statuesque in the pocket ain't always good. Right. I don't need John Elway. Sometimes I need a little versatility. And I think Luka's new regimen. Hopefully, we see just a better version of him.
I wonder, in that contract extension that he signed, if it is like a weight requirement or a dietary, restriction in there, because they're like, yo, hey, you can be 220, but you got to look a healthy 220. You need to trim down some fat. I understand you. That's probably why they let him play in Euro ball, because they're keeping him active. They want to keep his legs fresh, keep his body warmed up. But so if that is in the contract, that is a very smart move, because I would definitely put that in there for Luka, especially if I know he got weight fluctuation issues.
For sure.
Are we talking about Luka or are we talking about Zion?
Yo, we gotta talk about Zion. He's been going
We'll
crazy.
get to Zion. We'll get to Zion. All right, so we talked a lot about the West. So let's swing it over to the East. New York Knicks, not a bad start. 2-1. They lost last night, but they've looked good in each of their games. Mike Brown is always the question mark. Like he's one of those coaches where it's like he's a good coach, but is he a championship coach? And this team has championship aspirations, man. So I don't know. And look, their roster is pretty much intact. I don't know. I mean, because the East is the way the East is right now with injuries and it's kind of wide open. But is this the Knicks year?
J Money, just step back for a second, man. Step back. I'm a Cleveland Cavs fan. I have a checkered history with Mike Brown, and I understand his days of being an assistant coach with this San Antonio Spurs and his affiliation with the Warriors, but I think he's a bum. I think he is such a bum, man. I'm just not a fan of his. I feel like any coach can win when you're connected to LeBron James. Tyronn Lue came in half of the season and still won a championship. You know what I'm saying? Blatt wasn't doing a bad job. We was number one in the East before they fired him. So I just say that to say I like Mike Brown. I think he's a person, but I just feel like as a coach, he is not it. And I think the Knicks made a huge mistake bringing him on. He is not the answer, and they'll see.
Can I step in?
Sure.
I just want to let me approach the podium real quick here. Kevin, my brother. Listen, I'm all for Mike Brown. I'm sold. I was sold on him when he learned more from Steve Kerr under the Warriors, and then he went over to the Kings. And you know what he did with the Kings? He was successful. The Kings did him dirty, though.
He got fired.
They did him
again.
They did him dirty.
Again, he got fired.
They did him dirty.
Him and Doc Rivers look the same. Him and Doc Rivers are the same.
Hey, Kev's got a point. Kev's got a point.
No, absolutely not. No, Doc Rivers didn't know what to do with talent. He blew up a roster and made it worse. He got Kyle Kuzma. Mike Brown kept the roster and was still successful. He brought the Kings to the playoffs, and they haven't been in the playoffs in years. And then now, the culture that he built with the Kings, he's the reason that they were successful. And then the tough coaching that he'll provide, he plays to the players' strengths. Now, in the playoffs, maybe he made some questionable adjustments. However, with this roster and his game plan and his playbook, what he's doing with the Knicks, I like it. He's forcing Jalen Brunson to move around, move off ball. He's letting other players touch the ball, score. They had four players in double digits above 15 points. Come on, man.
So J Money, I'm with you.
And see, I think that's the thing with Mike Brown. Mike Brown is going to look great in the regular season. And I think like his winning percentage in the regular season is crazy, right? He's going to look great in the regular season. I've seen him get out coached in the playoffs though. And it's like honestly, look, they took that Golden State team to the limit. They really should have beat that team that year. They really should have beat that team. That they had them on the ropes. I think they really should. They were probably, I mean, listen, no one's going to be better than Steph, but they probably overall had the better team and they should have beat them. Because even after what I think, didn't Draymond Green stomp on Sabonis' face in that series?
Okay. So we gonna bring up old stuff now. Okay.
Okay. But Steve Kerr outcoached him, and we see that all the time with Mike Brown, at least in the playoffs.
Due to experience, though.
Well, I mean, listen, in the East is nothing but experience. Listen, there's going to be a series probably of the Bucks and the Knicks, and we're going to see which head coach is going to fumble the worst between him and Doc
Rivers. Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers always fumbles the bag every time. Kev, go ahead, man.
Every time. So, the interesting thing with the Knicks is, you brought in Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
Good pickup. Love the addition. It's an offense. But, yeah, they're still going to have issues in the front court. Big Cat. he can play the 5, but he seems like he's more comfortable at the 4. And Mitchell Robinson is so in and out of the lineup. You don't have Hartenstein anymore, and they got some other big. I can't pronounce his last name, but who is he? So I just feel like Mike Brown. He's not gonna remedy any of these issues. The Knicks are gonna win a bunch of games, and they're still gonna come up short. And I feel like they're fortunate that they don't have to deal with a Halliburton team with the Pacers. But the Knicks, I think the Knicks are a good team, but I feel like Mike Brown isn't the right coach, and I feel like that team is missing something. They're just like they're like gumbo. They're like a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of just stuff. It's good, but it's like just what is it? You know what I mean? It's like a seafood boil. You got a whole bunch of let's edit it a little bit, and I feel like I hated they broke up that whole Villanova DiVincenzo connection.
Yeah.
They're gonna regret that in the end. But the Knicks ain't it. It's all about them Cleveland Cavs this year. Watch.
So
I have
one
a
thing that
question. Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
after
Go
like
ahead.
the Knicks got put out of the playoffs last year that some stuff was coming out is that Mikal Bridges does not like to get touched. He
Mm,
out of people pause out of people who out of players who average like 40 plus minutes, he went to the free throw line the least in the league.
mm.
So
Okay.
he does not look for contact. And
No.
after I saw that, like I started like saw some highlights of his game. Like he does not see contact. He will definitely step to a shot or whatever. But I mean, he's sometimes their second score. I mean, with Cat third score probably sometimes, but you can't have someone on your team on a winning team that avoids contact like that. Like those,
Yeah.
and he's a good free throw shooter. He just doesn't take nearly enough.
Yeah.
So he has played like that since the Suns, and then he went to the Nets, right? And then
Yeah,
went to the
Yep.
Knicks.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So honestly, if it were me, and I'm always gonna play to the player side, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But
Mhm.
it
I
is broke.
I don't think it's broke. I think he's had a successful career out of it. But also, okay, again, always playing to the player side.
Yeah.
If I'm not looking for contact all the time, I'm looking to preserve my career and my body. And
Right.
I've been successful with that, for he's been in the league for almost 8 years now, I think.
That sounds right.
Mhm.
So I've dropped 30 at the drop of a hat. If you need me to be like, hey, Josh, drop 30, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna help us win this game. I don't know if I don't know if you need me to create or look for contact to win a game. You got 4 other guys on the court that can create contact. You got Brunson, you got Cat, Crybaby Cat, you got, OG Anunoby who can go to the hoop whenever they need him to. So I don't know why you would look for me to look for contact.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay.
All
Get
right.
that. Get that.
Get that. So while we're talking about the East, I've watched Milwaukee play a couple times.
Mm.
They're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. I'll
Okay.
say that.
Mm,
Giannis is like, look,
playing out of his mind.
y'all just gonna jump on my shoulders, and we just gonna see what's gonna happen. Like I feel like that's what he's doing right now. Just get on my shoulders, and we gonna see what happened. But last night I watched them play Cleveland. They played Cleveland last night, and you just saw they gave Cleveland everything they wanted until at the end of toward the end of the fourth quarter, and then it just became a talent thing,
Yep.
and they just don't have enough guns. They just
Mhm.
don't. Like Giannis can do whatever he wants, but they just don't have enough players, and it's
Yeah.
like we said last time. He's gonna have a Kobe type year. That year when the Lakers weren't doing anything, and Kobe had an 81-point game. This is going to be Giannis. Like, hey, I'm getting every single stat I can because I have to.
Yeah.
And it's like I just watched that team. They played well, but it's like Kendrick say, it's not enough. It's just not.
Mhm.
No matter what Giannis does, it's just not enough.
And so
Uh,
Giannis, hold on one second, J Money. So
go ahead.
Giannis definitely is a good big brother. He made sure his brother got a contract. You eating? Made sure his brother's eating. I respect that. I respect that. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. However, they're going. Giannis is going to do a whole lot of great things. He's going to stuff the stats, but they're going to lose, and they're going to be a bad team. And this will be the year they would lose to like a Detroit in the playoffs if they made the playoffs. I think Giannis is out of there. I'm just intrigued to see does it get through the All Star weekend, but I feel like this is his last time we see him in a Milwaukee jersey this season.
So I'm glad you said that, Kev. I'm really glad you said that. I'm all for nepotism. Okay, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I love it. I love
Me
it.
too.
Now the my backhand side of that though, put them in the G League. Don't
Mm,
like don't give them a
mm.
roster spot on the roster, man. Like, yeah, let your family eat, but they aren't good enough to be on the actual Bucks roster, bro. So I mean, I respect Giannis's game. I love Giannis. I love that he has brought a chip to Milwaukee. It's been long overdue. I think that he is going to stay with Milwaukee though, and I say that loosely because family is here. He's
Mhm.
built a culture here. He's built a home here. Milwaukee has accepted him since since he came from Greece, and they've given Giannis literally everything. My issue though, Giannis has said over and over again he wants to win another championship. He got a taste of what it is like to get a trophy and get MVP. And so Milwaukee, he might leave because Milwaukee is failing, or the coach, whoever it is, both of them, honestly, the ownership and head coach, they are failing to secure another superstar next to Giannis. They had Damian Lillard. I don't know why they brought him over here because he literally didn't even want to be here. But they need another closer.
It was a 2K trade. It looked great on paper, but they just could not. Like, dude, it was weird because to me, Giannis and Dame made sense. That's pick and roll all day.
Mhm.
But they were like in the bottom center of the league of teams that ran the pick and roll. It was the weirdest thing.
That's
But
that Doc
yeah,
Rivers.
yeah.
Good old Doc.
It was Doc, and who was the one before that?
His Aaron? It was something.
Yeah, who
Oh, they
Not
booted
Doc,
him for
Not
whatever reason.
Bowholzer. Bowholzer, not him.
no, it
No,
was
no,
it
no.
was
It was
no,
it
what's
was
the
another
guy?
guy.
Another guy.
Yeah, it was another guy. I can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah.
Aaron
So
Glenn?
But
No, not Aaron
no,
Glenn.
not
That's
Aaron
football.
Glenn. That's
that's
I'm
the Jets
tripping.
guy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm tripping.
so.
But you know,
But yeah.
but
Anyway,
Milwaukee, it's just not it, and it's okay. I mean, to your point, he's impacted culture there, and I look at it like any town, small town that embraces their superstar, great. It's a working relationship. I bring you notoriety, I give you a chance to win, and on the flip side, you pay me a king's ransom. It's the relationship. You know what I mean? So I feel like yeah, you hit it on the nail and said, he's tasted the champagne, but look around that locker room. Them players are gone. Middleton's not
Mhm,
there. Drew Holiday's not there. And like
mhm,
you said, B More is like it was a 2K trade, but what did you give up? When you gave up Drew Holiday and you brought in David Lillard, you brought in a better jump shot, but you lost what? You lost
defense.
the athleticism, you lost the
mhm,
defender, you lost the
mhm,
grit, you lost the experience. Drew Holiday is remarkable, and you just can't
mhm.
replace that. You know what I mean? So just like Boston is gonna miss him. So I
Boston's
get
missing
it.
everything right now.
I never thought it was a good trade. I saw it, but I never thought it was a good trade because it's just you need these
Yeah.
small pieces.
Mhm.
All right. So let's move on to Zion. Zion back.
Yeah.
Zion back. Another one who dropped some weight. And
Yeah.
look, man,
A lot of it.
Zion in these few games, man, Zion is balling.
Yeah.
27, almost 10 boards, 4 steals, 6 assists. Hey, man, Zion, look,
And he almost looked like me.
look, this is
Without the
this is
glasses, J Money, without the
Yeah, yeah,
glasses.
look, this is the Zion that we've been waiting on. Like he's finally here. Finally. So I mean the Pelicans aren't winning because they're the Pelicans.
Hmm.
But it's exciting to have Zion playing and playing at a
Mhm.
high level.
It is, but he's already out with a foot contusion already. So, I think through those 3 games, you're right, double double 2 of those games maybe, and I think Zion's talent is just so
Mhm.
undeniable, and he's like a Zach Randolph but more athletic.
Yeah.
He's like so many
Way
players of the
more
past
athletic. But I
and
get
we and
you.
we and we love and we love his game, man. But with anything, and with any business, the best ability is availability. And
Yep.
I think unless he's on the court playing, it's tough. It's almost like, how do you look at it where he's been out? You see a clip of him, not even in warm ups. He do his trademark 360. Man, don't nobody want to see that. I want to see you on the court doing it. You know what I mean? It's like he does that like it's such the trademark. I get it, Zion. You can dunk, man,
Right.
but I need you to go give me 25 and 9. That's what we need. So I'm glad he's back. I think he's a good young man, but it's just it's taking a while. And I hear like a
Mhm.
lot of bloggers, what's his name, Jeff Teague and his brother Marcus. They're definitely not Team Zion. They fed up because they felt like, hey, you should have been got this weight under control. And I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm happy he was available for 4 games and then decided to fall off immediately with an injury. Because at that point it's just like, why did I even bother? But I'd rather him have, and it sounds bad. I'd rather him have like a foot contusion than like knee
Some with the
problems
knee.
or something like that could be a lot, or like a back because of his weight. I'd rather have something like that. He'll be back in a couple weeks or a couple few days, whatever the case may be. But I am excited. I've been following Zion since high school and Duke,
Yeah.
honestly too. I think this year we'll see more availability from him. I'm willing to bet $25 that he'll play 60 games and they'll still make the playoffs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sir, I'm going to take the under on that one. I'm going to take the under on that one.
Oh, 60.
Yeah.
Shoo.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Okay, I hope you're
Yeah.
right, Jay Money. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, my
Yeah.
brother. I do.
Listen. I'm going to jump on that free money before Kev did. That's
Right,
free money.
right. That's a nice parlay right there.
Yeah. Well, we can't do no bets. I don't want nobody coming after us. So
Right,
we'll do,
right.
we'll do high
Hey,
fives.
hey, not until we got a DraftKings sponsorship. DraftKings.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, but we'll see. I think that Pelican experiment, it's just that experiment. You got to break it up from Johnson's being there to McCollum. I just think it's just not it. And I think Zion, I would look to trade him. I love when Paul Pierce
Oh,
and KG does a segment where they talk about some fresh weather
Yeah,
or I forgot what it is, but I think he just needs some fresh weather somewhere else. I think he
yeah.
absolutely needs to go somewhere else and just hit the restart button and redo his brand.
I mean, they brought in Jordan Poole for help, so we have no idea how that's going to come in.
a
Right.
joke.
Yeah. So, all
Jordan
right,
will still need some mentorship.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So, last topic: the Houston Rockets. Not the start we thought they were going to have, and they are up. Oh yeah, they're blowing the doors over Brooklyn, so they're gonna get their first win now tonight.
Another bad
So,
team.
yeah, Brooklyn is
It's so
everyone's get
terrible.
right. It's everyone's get right now. But I think Cam Thomas got like 20-something, 25 points right now. But
Normal.
because he's going to get his no matter what. But
Yeah.
regardless, Houston getting their first win against a bum team. So is this growing pains or should we be kind
Can I
of
go
alarmed
first?
going on?
Can I go first?
Yes,
Go
sir.
So the team looks great on paper. I feel like this is a common saying that we all say here on this lovely podcast. The team looks great on paper. It also matches the talent of and the necessity for their success. I had a gut feeling that this was going to happen. They were going to have a slow start because of the chemistry, because they're shifting a guy who plays point forward into running point guard now. And I like Amen Thompson's game, but they need another solid point guard behind Reed Shepherd. KD's going to do KD things. I feel like this year might not be as successful as last year because of chemistry. And Kevin Durant, I've noticed, has also taken a back seat when it comes to close games to doing his thing because he wants the young guys get the feel of take your shot. This is how you get to your spot and still get easy money. So I feel like they'll turn it around. It's only what, 5 games this
Those are fourth
so
game
far.
tonight.
So I feel like by game 20, maybe 15, we'll see a turnaround in their season. I feel like they'll be okay. They're going to be okay every year, but they have a chemistry development thing of clutch shots and clutch moments of, who's going to, be that guy outside of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it's so long layered when it comes to Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant he's a Libra. We share the same birthday. My guy. So I gotta have a certain level of respect for him. However, I think Houston is gonna really highlight his lack of leadership. It's gonna be another clear example that when he doesn't have all the creme de la creme around him, he won't win. And I feel like it's not his fault that they're missing Fred VanVleet, because Fred VanVleet is an all-star point guard, and you miss his presence, you miss his shot making, all these things that he brings. And the young fella Thompson, he's athletic, sure, but you see sometimes savvy. You need to have that, and I think they're really missing a veteran point guard. So with Chris Paul going back to the Clippers, that's just it. How do you fix that? You got to make a trade. I don't know that there's a free agent guard out there that you can just kind of go pick up that'll infuse what you need. Shepard, he's a good spark off the bench, but he doesn't check off all the categories, because when it was time for him to defend, barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. I think that team is Houston is going to score points, and we saw an undersized Draymond, a 6'9", 6'10" tweener, totally take Sengal away. Just took him away, wiped him out of the series. So I know he doesn't have dog in him. I love the presence of Steven Adams. Steven Adams, sure, he's going to be that guy, but you can't call plays for him. He does two things: defend and he rebounds, and that's it. But I just feel like Houston isn't it, and I think. In the end, we're gonna be looking at like should KD have gone back to OKC to ride off into the sunset? But I think Houston isn't it, and they're not gonna win.
So I think it's early. On this podcast, I'll say again, I believe in Ime. In Ime, we trust. Missoula's ring is Ime's ring. I will
God,
say that on every single podcast.
Don't start this.
So I believe in Ime. I believe that I do agree that not having a point guard is going to be problematic. And the biggest reason is because Amen Thompson can't shoot. I've seen him, he has great court vision. He can even get his shot on almost any place on the court, but he can't shoot. Like I was watching the first half of this game, he got back-to-back shots in the key, and he could not put the ball in the hole. Steven Adams for the rebound, kicked it out to him. Şengün got for the rebound, kicked it out to him. He missed all three shots. Like he can't shoot. And I was hoping in the off season that would get better, but it's not. You can't have the leader of your team leading your team up the floor, and he's not an offensive threat. You can't There's only one Giannis, and Giannis is just physically imposing. So yes, Giannis downhill, of course, but no one's scared of Amen Thompson coming downhill like that. So if he can't shoot, he's not big enough to be a downhill threat. That's a problem. That's a problem. So yeah,
right. Just on you describing Ben Simmons. Dang.
I mean, honestly, yes.
Don't do that.
Except he's not scared to shoot. That's actually a really good comparison, because I'm talking about early Philly Ben Simmons, who was scared to shoot, could drive to the hoop, but would not take a jump shot. That's kind of what Amen Thompson is right now, and he's got to develop that, or he will be like Ben Simmons, and he will end up not having a place in this league. So yeah, man. But again, it's early. It's just week one, plenty of time. So
we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
All right, so we're gonna close this episode out. This is a great episode. Glad we were able to get all three of us back together. So Kev, I'm gonna let you burn for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Or whatever you want.
Man. I think we've just learning the impact of just everything. Social media has given us a glimpse of what players' personalities are, what their triggers are, what ticks them off, and we get to kind of get up close and personal with the players, and that we kind of coveted, that we respect. But it's just something. I think we're also learning how greed can play a part in sports. Sometimes, they always say you don't want to meet your heroes, and I don't know that who's guilty and who's not guilty, but it's just not looking good. And I feel like, we're learning that sometimes, it's best just to take your piece of the pie and go off into the sunset, because when you try to manipulate and just get over, it's just tough. From Brett Favre misusing his funds to now Chauncey Billups, we just don't know. But I hope all the facts come out. I'm intrigued to see what kind of comes about this season for football, basketball. My prediction is that the Dodgers will bring it home with the World Series, and we'll go from there.
Word, J Money, you're up.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's talk about it real quick. John Morant. I'm not completely sold on this new image that he's been, portraying. I think he is a risk as a leader for the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't think he's ever been a leader. I think he's just been a guy that just wants to be a gangster and just call it a day. And I blame that on his circle. I blame it on parenting as well as, his dad. I feel like he feeds into the fake image that that John Morant portrays. The fact that I haven't heard anything from off court wise regarding John Morant, that's a huge plus for me, because then it also shows that the organization and that he probably cleared out his circle to be like, yo, this isn't you. You don't need to be like this. Please shut up. Go to the gym, go home, go out a couple times if you need to, but please don't do anything stupid. I'm also big on organizations holding their leaders accountable for how they, carry themselves off the court. We see successful images like LeBron. We see like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. There's a lot of guys out there who are really great leaders off the court that don't have drama because they don't, need to have that kind of drama in their life. I love it. I think that this needs to be a consistent thing moving forward.
No doubt, no doubt. So my quick minute is going to be on my team that I'm watching, the Charlotte Hornets. So I don't know why I fell in love with this team. I think maybe it's a whole lovable loser thing, but somehow, some way, I've fallen in love with this team, man. Look, I'm a Celtics fan, but this Hornets team, and I'm gonna, not even gonna say this Hornets team, my Hornets team. I'm claiming them now. My Hornets team, 2-1. So that's that's 2-1. I think predicted them to win 12 games this year. So they almost there, like a quarter of the way there. So look, man, LaMelo Ball, 28, 8, and almost 10 assists a game. Turnovers, we're not going to talk about turnovers, all right? We're not going to talk about turnovers. We're just going to talk about the assists. The man is almost at 10 assists a game, 9.7. So, but this team's played well. Miles Bridges, balling. Brandon Miller, his shot is still struggling, but when you watch Brandon Miller play, everything looks easy. So I feel like it's going to come back. It's just not there yet. But right now in week 1, I'm enjoying watching this Hornets team play, even though in that Philly game they did the most Hornets-ish ever by just like the last minute of the game is blowing the game. But hey, I'm really loving the way that team is playing right now.
For the record, LaMelo Ball has 11 turnovers for the season already.
All right, y'all. So we gonna wrap it up. This has been it's been a fun one. The 3-man weave came back. We got to do it again soon. So, this is B Moy, J Money, and Kev from Ohio wrapping up for a Trial Call Swish. We holler at you later.
Later.
Peace.